Hello, Kammema. I hope that you're having a fantastic morning. I wanted to more so do a video instead of a letter because I think, sometimes in letters it gets misconstrued. And I think when you can see someone or hear them, you better have an idea of what needs to be spoken. But first and foremost, I definitely want to appreciate you for giving me your letter. I definitely felt truth in it, to a certain degree, and I appreciate it. You did warn me not to take it the wrong way and or get upset, but I'm not going to say I got upset, but I did get disturbed, I have to say. And, I knew I should have read it today instead of reading it last night because it carried over to the evening, but, I still had a beautiful evening. And but I just want to make sure that, again, you understand where I'm coming from so that we all can be on the same page. But, again, I thank you for apologizing, and I apologize first, but you definitely apologize too, and I thank you for that. And I love you so much as my sister, and as I always tell you, there's nothing that you can do clearly at this moment, that can make me stop loving you. Not at all. I mean, it just wouldn't happen, and I think that's what being a follower of Jesus Christ is following him as far as loving others. And the best way to know that we love God is to see how we love other people, not just our family. And I think I'm doing a good job to the best of my ability, despite all odds. I was reading your letter, and you had explained in some instance or some parts of the letter that, you started off in the beginning that, you feel as if I'm the only one who knows like God, or, I act as if I'm maybe I can see on this sense, maybe you think that I act on a sense that I'm better than, the family. And you said that we all have to be accountable for our own actions and this and that. But, I do apologize if by any means that by what I've spoken, I don't know what conversation that we had that has been, faith-driven or religious-based. But, I don't find those conversations with you or any of our family members to be I'm completely honest, just because I do find it being argumentative when we speak. I remember our last conversation, which was when I had the shorts on and my you-know-what came out, the Daisy Dukes. But yeah, but the thing is, I honestly don't know when the last time it was that I talked to you about my spiritual base. But what you stated was, I needed to take medicine again. And I needed to go, more so take medications. And I respect that because that's what you believe. But for me to get an understanding from you, my question to you would be, again, what would make you say such a thing that I would need treatment? You said that it saddens you where I'm at. And to be completely honest with you, I feel I'm at the greatest point in my life that I've ever been in my whole entire life. Are things the best as far as finances, as far as, my goals, as far as my company, as far as things where I want to go? No, it's not. However, me loving people in a time where they don't love me back per se, and I'm not saying just my family, I'm saying the world, because if we're being honest, I go off this thing, and that's why I'm saying I'm not talking to you in a sense that's derogatory or that's better than, it's just scripture based. And I know unfortunately, we all don't live in each other's lives like you and your husband. I don't know what goes on, like you stated, in you and your husband's life. But for you to say something like that, for me, lets me know, I'm like, well, she doesn't walk in my shoes every day. What is she talking about? So that's what I was more so trying to understand, I was just, seeing where you were coming from. And you said, when I asked you that yesterday, you stated because you talk to yourself. I said, oh, okay. Well, I told you I was praying. You go, no, you talk to yourself. And I want to let you know again, and the reason why I'm making the video is because I do talk not to myself, but to the spiritual supreme force that is here now, which is God. And I'll give you the expedient for that, which is found in the Bible. He says, I'm with you always, even until the end of the world. He also states that he'll never leave me and or forsake me. And being that my circumstances that I've been in, such as the treatment that you guys have put me in for the 5 years, that it was the worst time of my life, because I lost myself. I didn't talk, I didn't smile, I was afraid of people. And I stayed in a room, four corners, four walls, and it was the worst time, for not only, for me it was, and I don't think it was easy for you guys, but what I learned is, Kammema, is sometimes when you're by yourself, like for instance, if something happens, in the desert, let's just say we go hiking, or I go hiking by myself, and I lose water and all that, but I'm by myself, and I need help because I'm getting dizzy and I need emergency. Who are you gonna call on? So what I'm saying to you is I've learned to use the supreme force as my helper because I realize with man they fall every time. I wanted, and I have to give you the story to me because I feel like you wanted to be completely honest with me. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. During the time that you guys, when I got arrested by those 7 police officers, I was like, what is going on? Why are they arresting me? What did I do so wrong? And when they handcuffed me, I was burning, and I thought I was going to hell. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, what is going on? And and then when they put the thing over my head, I was like, okay, but you guys just stood around with the video cameras or with your camera phones looking at me like I was in a zoo, and it didn't make me feel good at all. And I lost hope for my family, the ones who I thought could help me. And, it's not that you guys didn't try to help me. It's just that you guys... Hold on, there's a lot of noise now. But, unfortunately, it's not that... I'm not going to say it's not that you guys didn't want to help me. It's just the fact that I felt, oh my gosh, my family is sitting there looking... Kind of maybe how Grandma would have felt, I guess in the hospital when she goes, baby, do something, my leg is burning, So it kind of reminded me of that. Anyways, I got into the police car. I said, I don't want to get into the small one. Put me in the Tahoe. Put me in the Tahoe. And I was like, Katanya, come with me. And, she came. But, what was so sad to me was I still wanted Katanya. I had that little kid mentality, like 5 years old. I was like, Katanya, do something. Like, say something. Get me out of, why am I in here? I didn't understand. And then when we go to the actual facility, they're really abrupt with me. Again, it's like 5, 7 officers, that are being abrupt with me. With my, what can a small person do, But, with them, giving me a shot, sedating me and throwing me, taking my pants off and making me nude. I mean, how mortifying. You don't know what I went through. But what I'm saying is, Kammema, when I say is, when I pray out loud now, it's not that I'm praying to myself. And what I thought is, but another person has to believe that there's somebody here with me. And if they don't believe, then yeah, I am talking to myself. But if they believe, and the force that I believe in, hence Jesus Christ, then they would understand why I pray out loud. Because it's a lot deeper than, just talking out loud. And sometimes the situations can be so intense to where you have to speak out loud. Because what I'm realizing, Kammema, is that, and I was just saying this before I put up the camera on, God spoke the world to existence. He spoke it into existence because it's energy. And, my Grandma Billy always used to say, like, if you want to pray sometimes, sometimes you don't even have to speak. You can say it in your heart. And for me, I have to speak out loud now to cast down that negative energy. When I go to the register, there was somebody, and I got I got peach rings that we like so much, and the guy goes, I hate you. I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do to you? But we understand if we're real and honest with ourselves, what's going on. And what I said to myself, though, in my heart was, God bless you. I'm sorry about that. That sounds like a personal problem. And I kept it moving. But what I'm saying is now I have to speak and cast down negative words. So when I hear something that I don't like, per se, that's why I do that. So I do apologize if you're offended, because again, it is you and your husband's home, and I'm not there that long, anyways. I just change and leave. But I do appreciate you guys keeping my stuff as well. But that's the main reason why I talk. So when you say again, if that's your only reasoning to why I would need mental treatment, then I completely understand to that manner. But, other than that, I think that I'm at the most prime. Not the prime, but, I'm headed to almost the peak, to be quite honest with you, Kammema. At this moment, I think that I am about to reach my harvest, because I've gone through so much with my family, so much with the world, and one person can only take so much. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not him. I'm not Jesus, and I could never be him, and it's an honor to see that, a person like myself can change one's or enlighten one's sight. I'm honored to know that God is so good, and also you said that I'm selfish. If you watch my movies or the videos that I make often, one thing is, unfortunately, I don't feel like, for instance, whenever you have issues, you said that Joyce's not here, which was your boy or your best friend. It's hard to confide in your family about personal issues or whatnot. But for me, spiritual based and word based, he goes, confess your faults to one another that you may be healed. And but I'll just tell you, you know what? I don't have a problem saying that I'm selfish. I have been more selfish in my past, as you know, but I'm definitely evolving is the key word. And how am I evolving is by loving, which to me is the last 4 words at the end of evolve. I'm loving more. And, and I feel like I give a part of myself to people, unfortunately, you don't see. I give myself to people every single day. And I feel like that's my reasonable service because, I'm not circumcised, as far as the private part, but, as far as the heart, it's definitely being circumcised daily. And I'm having more compassion towards people. But sometimes it does get more, in a sense, where it can be like egotistical and more prideful than anything because I'm like, oh, you want to talk about me? Well, let me do this. But what I'm learning is that spirit is too powerful for me, hence the Antichrist. Hence the Prince of the Air, which has nothing to do with Jesus Christ, who is in me. So I'm finding out, the more that I love, the more that I said I'm going to love so hard, Kammema, that I'm going to love people away. Or I'm going to love so hard where people can say, why does he love me so much? And that's what they actually do. They do that, So it's nothing against you, but you don't see me, Kammema. And I have a job, like I was telling you. And what is my job? It's beyond being a designer or, modeling or things like that. It's so much more intense. It's so much stronger than that. It's giving God's word, whether you want to call it a prophet, whether you want to call it evangelist or what have you. Yes, I don't go to church. Okay, so be it. But I believe the church is within us, and I believe that when you sit and talk to just one person, wherever there's 2 or more, God is always in the midst. But he's already promised me that he's with me for the rest of my life, kind of like Joseph. Pharaoh knew that God was with Joseph, but he was also well-favored. It's kind of like me, though, but wherever we go, it only amplifies that. So when I go out to a Starbucks, where I'm at now in Scottsdale, or, I don't care if it's like a Goodwill or, Saks, I don't care. But at the end of the day, people see a light. You can either be against the light or you can be for the light. And why I'm saying that, Kammema, is because, when you go into a dark place and you are light, you offend certain people who don't like light. It's offensive, and light allows you to see dirt on your hands. And some people actually feel so ashamed that they start crying, and tell me, themselves. So that's why I said if we're honest with ourselves. But I realize not everybody wants to be honest. So that's why I'm saying with our family and things like that. So that's why I say, I forgive you all the time when I see you. And there's nothing you can do to make me stop loving you. So it's not that I'm crazy and, I'm saying the same things over and over. It's because now things have been exposed, and, when people make fun of me even for the things, that I didn't even know about, because I was really kept, I didn't realize that I was so kept, I was so sheltered. I didn't realize that Severa knew so much about me, but was trying to shelter me. And, as well as yourself. And I do think that's why you were at the time protective over me. Because even though I did do things, you didn't think that I did things to be malice or harsh or anything of that nature. And, you're right. I think I do have a big heart, Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I will be the first one to say that I'm not perfect. Can I do more? Absolutely. And what I've realized is, for me, I feel like now I always wanted to pray just for me and Lauren. I have to be honest. I really did, because I'm like, what? Everybody's covering them and their families. I have to cover me and my daughter. And, I cover Lauren. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who does. But I cover Lauren with the blood every day. I have to. Because being that I'm a father and I'm not there in her life, the best thing that can cover her is God. God can, touch anybody's heart more than I can. So with that said and done, I know that because me being righteous, she will be delivered, like I told you. The seed of the righteous shall be delivered. But God only reveals to me when I wake up in the morning, early in the morning, and you say I need to sleep. I wake up in the morning to get a reception from him. Sometimes they call it a phone, which they say I don't have. But little do they know, there's letters just for Shimeon. and I receive them. And he tells me, I am the seed of Abraham by the faith of Jesus Christ. In addition to that, on that day, because people are profaning royal black sheep, they call me a queen, they call me a drag queen, they call me this and that. They're profaning me, casting my crown down for garbage. They call me haste, the scum of the earth. I didn't know that, Kammema, but now I do. And it doesn't make me feel good all the time, I have to say. But I'm definitely learning how to conquer that. Hence is why I'm being refined. And the fire that I told you I was being burnt and when they handcuffed me in, I was being refined to gold. And it saddened me that the first time that situation happened, Uncle Claude knew them because they went to Xavier. Oh, they went to Brophy, but, I guess Taylor and McKenna always used to go to their ranches and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, how do they all know each other, this and that? So I'll just leave it at that, and, it was just hurtful, that's all, the things that I found out about. And I don't want people with royal black sheep to think, oh, it's only for black people, or deeper skin tones, because it's not that at all. I didn't realize the whole Black Panther movement and stuff. Like, I didn't know anything. Like, Natalia was coaching me more about it than, like, I knew about it. But, I feel like now, more than ever, people are using me. I'm not saying you, per se, Kammema, but I'm saying people. And, I don't. It doesn't make me feel good as well. And the world, they're feasting off my charity. Something that is so pure. Black or white. Literally, either you love and or hate. And that's all that I choose to love this time. And I've always been a lover. But now I choose to serve God and wholeheartedly this time. And I don't care what it takes, whether it be my life, whether it be clothing, whether it be, giving up whatever. But, monetary things don't matter to me anymore. Hence is why I pass off so much money. Money is cheap. Money is cheap, and I don't want people to, justify me by money and or things. But I want you to know that I love you so much. My computer is going down because maybe it might go off in a little bit. But anyways, I just want you to know I love you. And, again, I do think that you definitely have helped me out tremendously. And I did feel the honesty in this. And, I appreciate it. But, when you write things like that, you already warned me even, not to get upset. But, I did get disturbed. Like I said, I did get disturbed because, when you say that you're sad for my life and this and that, like, you have to talk to me more instead of like, hi, do you want something to eat or do you want some money or here and that? Like, we have to have conversations like we used to have, like you say you miss, to understand each other's lives. And I think once we understand each other's lives and where we're coming from, I can better understand, what, this is why you're not, or you were angry today or you got upset today, when I walked in. Because it's communication. But sometimes because I annoy you so bad, I can't really have that. So it's really like short, and that's with all of our siblings, everybody from Austin to Katura to Katanya to Katanya and Shimon, like, it's sad, but I don't want to just be, and that's why if I say, hey, do you guys want to go to this rooftop and have tea or whatever, or coffee, and you guys don't want to do it, yeah, things happen all day, and we have our own lives, but we can always plan things out, I think, and that's how I do things with everybody, as far as my meetings for my business or, meeting with somebody else. Like, if you can't do it today, make plans. I have a planner, what's 2 weeks from here, but I've done that with you, and sometimes things come up, but it's not that I haven't tried, because I definitely want to get to know you guys more, because I don't really know you guys more, like you don't know me more, but, let's get to know each other better, and, let's not fight, but let's love more. But I think the world is already seeing that, Jesus does live, love wins every time, for love. And I love that. You're right. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And we can only live through Jesus Christ to be perfect. I love you so much. And take care. Don't be mad. Message me what you think about the video. And don't be sassy with me. I love you, though. Take care. Bye. Hold on, honey. I got to see how to do this. Hold on. Hold on. Okay.